Welcome back, everybody, and happy Fear the Walking Dead Season 5 premiere day. Today, we're here to answer some questions. Yesterday, I posted in my community section of my channel to ask me some questions regarding The Walking Dead. I posted it at like a real bad time. I think it was like 2 a.m., so I apologize if you didn't see it. But we're going to be answering some of the questions we have. And then later tonight, the episode's going to air, and then we'll be back here to do a review of the episode, trailer breakdown, all that kind of stuff that we usually do. So with that being said, let's get started. Alright, so we're gonna kick things off with Vanessa. She asked a couple questions. The first one was, after we lost Rick, what do you think saved the show? Angela Kang or the Whisper arc? Do you think Scott Gimple could have done a good job on this arc? So to answer the first part of your question, I definitely think it was a mix of both Angela Kang and the Whispers, because first of all, Angela Kang did a great job with the pacing of season 9. Like, we had great episodes all throughout the season, not just the finales or the mid-season finales, which The Walking Dead usually holds the big stuff till then. She did big stuff in episode 11 and 12 and 6 and 5, and like, it was huge like that. So that's one thing I really liked about Angela Kang, that she made the entire season exciting. There really wasn't no boring parts throughout the season, so that's great pacing by her. And when it comes to the Whispers, I definitely think the show really benefited from the Whispers as well, because the Whispers brought a whole new creepy and scary element to the show, and kind of brought back, you know, the original feeling of The Walking Dead with how scary it actually should be. So I definitely think it's a mix of both. Now, when it comes to Gimple and if he could have done a good job in this arc, it's hard to tell, because he did some really good stuff in The Walking Dead in the past, so I just don't know. And you know, season 7 and 8, they were a bit rocky, so if season 9 was paced and designed like season 7 and 8 were, yeah, season 9 would not be nowhere near as good as what it was. But then again, like I said, Scott Gimple has done some really good stuff in the past. He's done some not so great stuff. So saying that, it's kind of hard to say if he would have done a good job with it because of, you know, what's out there with his work, you know. But I don't think we should focus on what Gimple would have done. Let's just thank Angela Kang for kind of rebooting this show in a great way. But you guys let me know in the comments down below. You guys can get on to these questions as well. Like, you know, what are your thoughts on these? Do you think Gimple could have done a good job on the arc? Let me know. I'm interested. Moving on to her next question. It said, what is the real reason you were going to watch Fear the Walking Dead? Is it for the Rick Grimes Easter eggs or Dwight crossover? I'm definitely excited for both of those things, because it's been a long time since we've seen, you know, Dwight. It's been like over a year. So it's been a while, and I want to see what Dwight's been up to. He's a really good character. Austin Emilio's a great actor. But if I had to pick one, I would say like Rick Grimes, because I'm kind of itching to find out anything related to Rick Grimes. But that being said, that's not really why I'm watching Fear the Walking Dead. Like, I think I'm watching Fear because of, like, I've already watched, you know, since the beginning, and I really love The Walking Dead. I love everything about The Walking Dead. It's a show I've always watched. So I think even if the Fear the Walking Dead really had nothing to do with Rick or Dwight, I would still watch it. But in terms of those two, definitely Rick Grimes, because I just want to know what's been going on with him. And then her next question was, this season on Fear, do you think the show was introducing fast walkers or mutated walkers? I heard both of these theories. The fast walkers just seem so fascinating to me. Like, imagine seeing a fast walker, like a running walker, like a World War Z type walker. That would be awesome. But I think it's going to be mutated walkers because of the radiation plant. Because we know there was like a sign on the ground or something on one of the trailers that said high radiation area. And then we also had that walker who definitely looked like he got affected by radiation or something. So I think it's going to be like mutated walkers. But hey, if they want to throw in fast walkers, I'm up for that. That would be awesome. Thank you for those questions, Vanessa. I do appreciate it. You guys can get down in the comments and answer some of them as well if you'd like. But moving on to Tammy Hillhouse, whose question is, how do you think Dwight will be introduced to the crossover in which episode? Who are your favorite and least favorite characters and why? So how do I think Dwight will be introduced? Well, in the trailer, it looked like that moment where he said Morgan, and then somebody asked, like, do you guys know each other? That looked to be the moment where they introduced Dwight. So it might be like they were just in the middle of this battle, or they just come across this area where Dwight is on his own, because it definitely looks like he's on his own. I don't think he's gonna be part of a community or anything. So I think they're just gonna stumble across him in the middle of a road or something, after a battle or something. We'll see. But that's definitely that moment in the trailers, I think, when the crossover happens, and by the looks of that, he's on his own. So I do think they're just gonna stumble across him. And which episode do I think it's gonna be? If it happens in the premiere, that would be awesome. But I just don't. We'll see. But it looks like the premiere is gonna kind of catch up on the older characters. So I would say like episode 2 or 3. I think 2 is a good time for them to introduce Dwight. So who are my favorite and least favorite characters and why? So for Fear the Walking Dead, it's tough because there's not that many characters like The Walking Dead. Favorites would have to be, I really don't dislike anybody, you know. Like, one of my favorites of last season was John. He's becoming one of my all-time favorites because he's such a likable and cool character. I like Morgan, I like Alicia, Luciana. They're all great characters. So I mean, my favorites would have to be probably John, Morgan, and Alicia. I don't really have any least favorites, just characters I like more than others. Like, there are no characters on Fear the Walking Dead that when I see them I dislike them or I don't like their presence or anything like that. Just characters, like I said, like I like some characters a lot more than others. There's some favorites, but for the most part all the characters are nice and interesting, so I really don't have any least favorites, just like some more than others. Thank you for that question, Tammy. I do appreciate it. And then moving on to Nathan OK, whose question is, do you think Morgan and Alicia could go to Alexandria to tell Michonne Rick is alive, since Fear will be connected with the Rick Grimes movies? Listen, I am up for that 100%. If there is some sort of indication that Rick is alive and the people on Fear, like Morgan, finds out about that, and obviously Morgan knows who Rick is, and if they go to Alexandria, let's say in season 10, the Fear characters show up and they tell Michonne, and that would set up Michonne's exit because we know Michonne is leaving in season 10. I think that's like awesome. Like, I would love that. It would definitely spice things up, make it interesting. And I mean, yeah, I'm definitely up for that. If that happens, yeah, I do think that it should happen. That would be awesome. So that's an awesome question. Thank you, Nathan, for asking. And yeah, if there's a possibility of that happening, I'm definitely up for it. The next question comes in from Trump Fan Network, who says, will Madison come back? I don't think she actually died. Alright, so based on what a lot of like the cast and crew are saying, like they aren't really talking about Madison. Things aren't looking too well for Madison. I don't even think Kim Dickens knows if she's coming back or anything like that. But yeah, it's a little bit odd because they didn't really fully show her death. So I don't blame you for not thinking she actually died. I myself don't fully think she died, because if one day they bring back Madison in the future, I'm not gonna question it. Like, how did she come back? You know, like if they bring back Glenn, I'm gonna be like, okay, how the hell is Glenn alive? Because we saw he died, right, in front of our eyes. But if they bring back Madison, it's not gonna be like impossible, right, to believe. So I do think it's possible she's gonna come back. I wouldn't bet on it. I'm not really expecting it, but I do think it's possible. The next question comes in. Well, this isn't really a question. It's kind of like a statement, but I'll talk about it from the Lego Animator. They said, I think the guy in the radiation suit might be Troy Otto, as in season 3. He's learning about the virus, so it's a possibility. That's an interesting thought. I haven't really thought about that because we haven't learned a lot about Troy. We do know, well, reports were saying a while back that he's going to be back in season 5. We just don't know if it's going to be in flashback form with Al's tapes, because we know we have Al and she has connection. Like, we can see a lot of flashbacks just by watching one of her tapes. Or is it going to be like, you know, present day? And I think it'll be, it's hard to say because, you know, with Troy also, I guess we didn't fully, you know, 100% see him die. So it is possible. And yeah, I think it would be a cool twist if Troy ends up being the person in the radiation suit. Like, I could see that happening. Like, at the end of the episode, Troy takes off the mask and the guy in the radiation suit takes off the mask and it's Troy, and that would leave fans wanting more and seeing what happens in the next week. I do think it's possible. And I think it'll be cool if they bring back Troy, you know, present. Like, again, that's like something, if they bring back Troy, I feel like fans will not completely disregard it. Like, I feel like fans will be like, okay, yeah, I could see how he can come back in a way. So we'll see. But yeah, that would be awesome if Troy is the one in the suit. And then the last question comes in from Lisa in the Cold, who says, can't wait for Fear to return. Need some dead in my life again. You think we're gonna see Abe and maybe Eugene and Rosita on those tapes of Al's? Would be pretty cool since we've been waiting to see what's up with the tapes since they showed them all last season. Yeah, me too, Lisa. I am excited for Fear to return. Need some Walking Dead back in my life. And what's awesome now is that like after Fear, we got the Walking Dead season 10 starting, so we're fully in the Walking Dead zone now. I'm excited. And to answer your question, do I think we're gonna see Abe and Eugene and Rosita on the tapes? I do think it's possible. I definitely think it's possible, especially since they teased it with a doc on the label. So it definitely looks like Al has talked to them in the past. So yeah, I mean they could definitely show it, but I think it would have to be important to the story for them to show it. Like either A, it has something to do with the story and they have to watch it, or B, or she could show more again. That would be pretty cool. That could definitely happen. Or maybe she's like skipping through all her tapes to look for something and kind of fast forwards it, and we see like a real quick shot of Abraham and Eugene and Rosita. That would be awesome. But I do think it's possible because of them already teasing it, and now we know that Al has a connection to those characters. Yeah, I do think it's gonna happen eventually, which I at least I hope it does. Thank you for the questions, guys. I do appreciate it. That was the last one. Again, I posted the Q&A like at a really bad time. It was like 2 a.m. or something, so I feel like a lot of people didn't see it. But I want to do more of these in the future. I love answering questions about The Walking Dead and talking about The Walking Dead, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts also. I just don't want to have my answers. I want to read what you guys have to say about these questions, because these were all really, really good questions. So you guys be sure to answer some of them in the comments down below. I'm interested to hear your thoughts and opinions. I am gonna wrap it up there for this video. Again, the Fear the Walking Dead season 5 premiere is airing tonight, so after the episode, we'll have the review up on the channel, and then trailer breakdowns, all that jazz that we usually do. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating, and for more Walking Dead videos like this, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys later.